Hey friends, going to give you a quick look at standard deviations here during our statistics unit. So in some ways, we're starting to get into what I consider the math foreign language, and that's statistics, so especially the variables and so forth we'll be looking at. So without further ado, let's giddy up here. Okay, standard deviation will be represented by this little, I believe, lowercase delta, Greek letter there, standard deviation. And what is it? Well, definition says it's a variance from the mean. What does mean mean? Mean means average. So the variance from the middle, although I shouldn't point you toward median, we're talking about average, not the middle. Okay, and the variance will be standard deviation squared, and mean, besides meaning average, will be represented by these variables. Welcome again, like I said, to the math foreign language. This is bar X, I've heard, and mu. Okay, not a cat, but that is a mu. Okay, so how do we do these type problems? Oh my goodness, what is that? Okay, yep, that says standard deviation equals the square root of, sigma means sum, the sum of x minus the mean squared over how many terms are we looking at? N. Okay, wow, soak that in, and certainly don't memorize it, but I did want to make sure you saw exactly what it equals. So here's the type of problem we're doing. Hang on. Pausing. All right, let's see, where were we? Okay, so let's take a look at a problem. So anytime you're given data, for goodness sakes, okay, think stat edit in the calculator. So with that said, all right, I got those 5 X's. So I go here, stat edit, boom, put them in L1 is where I have them. Could have put them anywhere, but I put them in L1. And now, what are they asking us to do? Well, move this over here. Okay, they're asking us to fill out this chart with the mean, x minus the mean, and then x minus mean squared. It's a lot going on. So watch this. Okay, here's what you need to be able to do with the calculator. Okay, go to stat, middle column, and this thing right at the top called one var, one variable stats. If you click that, and I'm telling it to work with L1 data, boom, look what it gave me. Well, there's the average, 7.4. Okay, there's the the sum sigma of all the x's, 37, and there were how many of them? N, 5. There were 5 of them. You could probably do that in your head a little bit. 37 divided by 5 would be 7 and something. So now you see where the average came from. And when we sum up all the x squareds, bing, bang, boom. All right, remember, sigma means sum, so does S. Okay, and here's our little baby delta. Looks like a cannon. All right, and that's the standard deviation. Let's round it to 1.5. Okay, what else is on here? Well, I guess let's go back to that problem. Okay, after all that, all right, if I get there. If I did this the long way, I'd have 7.4s here, all right, and then I'd subtract them. Okay. And on and on and on, okay? And then I could square them. Okay. You know, on and on and on. And when I sum them up and all that, you find my standard deviation. Okay, so what else could I do? Okay. And remember, not that I asked for it, but okay, if I square this, I'm allowed to do that. All right, this was called something else. That was variance. That would equal basically that. So I could square that. All right. Know that you can get there from here. Okay. All right. So what else could I have done with that data? All right. Show you what calculator can do for you. Pictured here below, if I use the arrow, okay, boom. All right, this min, median, max, Q1, Q3, that's for a box and whisker plot. Okay, so if I take a look at that, okay, remember what a box and whisker plot looks like. I've got one down here, I do believe. Pardon me. Okay, forget about the data there, but calculator told me that the low one was 4.8. The first quarter was 5.85. Okay, right smack in the middle, the median, 7.6. Third quarter, 8.85. And the high ball over there, the max was 9. So you can fill out a box and whisker plot just based on that. All right, while we're here, okay, remind you how to do that. You can do it by hand also. All right, and how do you do that? You put them in order, count them up. I got 10. Okay, for this one, what's the low? 25 goes there, 60 is the high, it goes there. All right, and count off. Okay, we have the middle is right here with 5 on each side. All right, normally if there's an odd number like 9, you put 4 on each side and the one in the middle is the median. Here, we got 5 on each side. There is no number here, so you're gonna have to take the average of those two. This one, nice and easy, 45. Okay, then, all right, you're going to go, you know, right in the middle of those to get the first and third quarter. All right, so you've done this by hand, middle school. All right, but you could also, let's go back to the calculator and show off some more. I have put my data over here, as you see, in L5. Okay, so let me reinforce this for you. Stat middle column, one var stats. I'm going to change that to L5. And now, not only will it give me my average, but it'll give me, if I scroll down, everything to put on my box and whisker. 25 and 60 were the edges, okay? The low and the high. 45 was the middle. We already put that on. And here you can see 27.5, 57.5. There. Okay. So there's your box and whisker and use of calculator. All right. Push that aside. Okay, boom, boom, boom. All right, enough of that. Okay, let's look at this data set. All right, and they want to know within how many standard deviations does the data fall? So I see data, I got to put it in the calculator and under one of the lists. Okay. And I put it in order. Okay. So that I could visually see that the low one was 12 and then the high one is 24. Okay. Yeah. We can talk what you call box and whisker and all that stuff, but let's see what the standard deviation is for this data. To the calculator I go. All right. And this time, again, stat, edit. And I put it over here in list 6. Okay. And I put it in just as I saw it. All right. So here we go. Third time you're seeing this. Stat middle column, one var stats, change it to the list you want. Mine's L6 this time. And boom, my middle, oops, it's not on screen yet. My average 17.6. Okay. And if I wanted to do box and whisker, here we go. All right. But what was I looking for here? Standard deviations. Remember, that's the baby delta. And it's approximately, we'll go with one decimal place, 3.5. You see it? Okay. So now back to here. All right. 3.5 is standard deviation. So, all right, from there to there, okay, how many 3.5s do we have? Well, all right, you can do this a couple ways. All right. I got this. Okay. So how many 3.5s are there from here to here? Well, the first one would be 15.5. Second one would be 19. Oops. Then the next one would be 22.5. So there's 3 full standard deviations there, and then a piece of another. All right. Now, technically, they just asked how many full standard deviations would this data fall. So 3 would be your answer. Okay. And let's close today. We already did box and whisker. All right, last stop. Oh, well, I was going to do this with you in class. So after everybody's done with the quiz, all right, we'll do this. But what we'll do is we'll get some data from you. How many brothers and sisters you got? Me, I got none. And then we will find the average of how many brothers and sisters people have. We'll find the standard deviation, and we'll do all this, box and whisker plot, all that, with the data that we collect from you guys. So recap, mostly calculator today. All right, standard deviation. Have yourself a great day.